What do you think about people, of course, like you said, the media over sensualizes,
Yeah.
bodies in general,
Yeah.
and this idea of looking perfect. And it definitely has an effect on young girls too. I know
Yeah.
for myself, I suffered with anorexia as a young girl. So when you have young girls coming into your office that may be dealing with body dysmorphia, how do you handle those specific
Yeah.
type of situations?
It's getting a little more difficult because it's becoming so common that it's hard to say that out of these 10 young teenage girls, that one has the problem.
Mm-hmm.
They're all using filters. They're all communicating with themselves via Snapchat. It's very rare. I mean, I have two daughters. I can speak about this, and she knows what her father does. Sometimes I'll be sitting at dinner, and some like person she idolizes just comes on as like calling me. So she knows kind of who I do, what I do,
Mm-hmm.
and even in her, she's like using filters, and she's like coming to me like, "Can we laser my skin?" Like, it's just part of growing up, And I do think women have it a little bit harder from the time they grow up, even in today's society, to look a certain way and everything. But some of it is honestly linked and wired, programmed in our brain in genetics and evolution to recognize certain types of hips are like childbearing and go along with fitness.
Mm-hmm.
And fitness in evolutionary terms mean able to reproduce. When you see a woman that has good breasts, of size breasts and certain hips, automatically a lot of people are hardwired to think that's going to be better for reproduction, more success for reproducing and things like that. So there's a hard wiring there. But for the teenage girls, I think we're going to find hopefully a balance, but it really has to start with the parents, number one, and then the schools too. The schools I don't think are doing the best job right now, but the parents are the key. And if we go back to trying our best to get that nuclear family and getting the household to have that structure and the support, then hopefully, like if the daughter sees a filter or sees unrealistic things, the dad and mom are there, they'll talk to her about it, be like, that's not good, that's not real, this is what's real, let's go outside and play, let's go out, take up a sport. But it's got to happen as early as 6, 7 years old.
Yeah.
I mean, 9, 10-year-olds right now know more than I did when I was 19 about sex and certain things, including positions and like toys and stuff. It's like, it's the information you get on social media and the internet, it's really hard to control.
You're home with two young girls, as you said, teenager. How do you have that discussion with them with not yet, you don't need this, you're beautiful just the way you are, but dad is also in the operating room creating art and magic and making other people feel beautiful through surgery. So how do you balance that at home?
Well, we have art in the home. I play guitar, and there's nothing wrong with having certain personal tastes and aesthetics in your life. Like, you're put together, like, in my opinion, perfectly right now. And that's an aesthetic you like. Mm-hmm. There's an aesthetic I like I'm wearing Persian white and black. We always wear black. We always wear black. So there's a certain aesthetic you grow up with, certain aesthetic you hone and evolve as you get older. And I try to form the conversation more around, like, if that's what you want and that's really, you want that, then sure, I'll support you. I, in fact, operated on 2 of her friends and one of her cousins, her own age. I did their noses. They turned out great. Now they're posting selfies left and right without much filtering. Mm-hmm. So, but they were stable. I talked to them. I knew them because they grew up with her. I know the parents, and so I already know what the deal is with that. So I just basically tell them, you shouldn't pin your personality, your like hopes, your future on your appearance, but you should always be healthy. You should work on your appearance. And if you want to curate a certain aesthetic for yourself, whether it's shaving the side of your head, whether it's coloring your hair, growing it long, extensions, one day French tip, one day red, rhinoplasty, it's all in a continuum of self-improvement. Mm-hmm. I remember one time, this was an important lesson I gave my daughter. We were sitting at a diner, and this kid walked by and looked over at her, and I think she was like 9 years old. And he said, "Wow, Mama, look how pretty that girl is." And she got so happy, so excited. I remember she was telling all of us, "Did you hear what he said?" She was all proud. I'm like, that's phenomenal. But just remember, you don't ever need anyone else outside, especially a man, telling you you're pretty because you know you're pretty. You don't need him to walk by and say that. So I've always given him that confidence from day one to know that it shouldn't come externally. But if you have a fire inside you that's telling you, I have no breasts, I just want breasts because I want to be able to go and wear aloe and work out and look good and feel good, there's nothing wrong with that.